Ever kill a plant in your garden? Maybe it wasn't your fault. Today, I'm walking you through a real pollinator garden and show you exactly which native plants and Florida friendly plants thrive in Florida's heat, humidity, and even hard freeze with zero fuss. At the Four Freedoms Park, let's go see how all the plants that we've put in over the last 3 years are thriving. The first bed I'm at is for Confederate soldiers and other people who represent families here in Madison County. We planted some Walter's Viburnum Mrs. Schillers, and they have had their spring blooms, but still a few blooms on the plants. This is a project of the Madison Garden Club. Several members have donated plants to add to the original planting. These beautiful amaryllis that have just opened here come from one of our members. What is also great is that everything has a story. So these are plants that started out in her grandmother's garden. So pleased they are thriving here. And she donated enough that we have them in each corner. This plant is a native and it's called Starry Rosinweed, and it came from my bed. It was just a little seedling that was coming up in the mulch of my circle garden, and I brought it over and planted it. We will have beautiful yellow flowers from spring until first frost. Now you might be wondering, what is this? This is actually a beach sunflower. It is another native plant, and it can get cut back and it will come out from the roots. It blooms like crazy. You can see this is one plant and how big the spread is. So when we had our pollinator census last year, it was one of the outstanding plants in terms of attracting native pollinators to this area. Another Walter's Viburnum, Mrs. Schiller's in the corner, amaryllis blooming. In the front, we have volunteer blanket flowers. So, given the price of plants now when you go to the store, it's lovely to have things that reseed prolifically and can fill in an area and bloom from early spring through the summer and into the fall. Blanket flowers, that's one of the common names. It's known as gaillardias. Another Mrs. Schiller's, smaller. We're not sure if it's because sometimes children and dogs trample in this area, or it just doesn't get as much sun as the Mrs. Schiller's that are to the back of this monument. I'm walking over to one of the beds that is at the front of the Four Freedoms Park. Here's the memorial that commemorates the organization of the Florida Baptist Convention, which was originally founded in this part of Madison County. And we removed a lot of vines and overgrown bushes so that people could actually see the monument and read the information. We wanted to be sure that we had some evergreen shrubs to the back that would not overtake the monument and block the view. So we have Texas sage, and these are blooming now, and they will bloom off and on all the way until frost. Nice, hardy plant. They like it somewhat dry, and they like full sun. And so this is working out. An example of right plant, right place. On either side of the monument, planted a Walter's Viburnum Mrs. Schiller's. Just finished blooming for the early springtime. You can see the blooms in there. What I love about this shrub is that it takes a beautiful rounded form. You don't have to worry about pruning it. It grows about 4 to 5 feet tall and about 4 to 5 feet wide, so it will fill in the gaps here in this monument over time. Some drift roses. One of our volunteers loves drift roses, and they do fairly well in this spot. Roses like it a little cooler and not so humid, but this particular variety is growing in this area. So it's had a few blooms and has more buds. It'll bloom off and on for a while. In the corner, Coreopsis. That's a spring and summer bloomer. Attracts pollinators. It's a native plant. You can see the little buds on it. It will be blooming in a few weeks. Snapdragons and dianthus winter bedding plants. To the back is a perennial white salvia. Not a native salvia, but we planted this because it is a huge pollinator attractor, and we get both pollinators as well as butterflies. In the front, the purple is Moss verbena. A few transplants came from my garden, and we're keeping it contained. The ground cover that you see that's filling in, we will be removing that. We just haven't started our spring cleanup yet. Easter lilies will be continuing to grow and bloom. Another white. This area will be filling in with Coreopsis. We like to have things balanced, so drift rose on one side, drift rose on the other. Walter's Viburnum Mrs. Schiller's on one side, Walter's Viburnum Mrs. Schiller's on the other side. And the nice silvery, beautiful open effect Texas sage thriving here in the back. Small circle garden, a commemorative garden for Gold Star mothers. And Gold Star mothers are mothers whose sons and daughters and relatives died during active service to our country. We're very happy to be able to provide a planting. This winter we had 3 weeks of hard frost. A lot of the plants that we had in here will have to be replaced. The statue that they call Four Freedoms was commissioned by FDR, historic monument, and our park is named in honor of this monument. An example of right plant, right place. These are Walter's Viburnum Mrs. Schiller's, same plants that I have in front of my house that I've done some videos on, and are almost full size. They should be 4 to 5 feet, which is their maximum height. The idea was that we would have shrubs that were evergreen, that would bloom and attract pollinators, be attractive, and that would grow together. And that goal is getting achieved here at this monument. And I hope at the other monuments where this shrub is planted will be as successful with their growth. Some more donated amaryllis blooming, some snapdragons fill-ins here, and blanket flowers. Are these weeds? No, those are blanket flowers coming up. Stokes asters, so those will be blue, and they bloom in the springtime, and they also bloom in late summer. More amaryllis. Blue-eyed grass started on either side of the monument. A ground cover or an edging border that goes across the front. Blue-eyed grass is a native plant. Stokes asters are a native plant. Twin flower as a ground cover is a native plant. And this is the one that grows in a drier area. There are 2 varieties of twin flower, and one likes it soil damp, and the other does well in regular soil. More blanket flowers over here that will fill in this area. A quick view of the park, an acre in size and frequented by lots of people in the community. There are all kinds of events that are scheduled at the gazebo. So it's a nice gathering place, and it was a great place to have a project for the garden club to help restore the park. Monument beds. This is the last bed we're visiting. Purple-eyed grass. We saw blue-eyed grass at the other monument. early spring bloomer. Purple-eyed grass is a native plant. Pennyroyal, another native plant, and it had some small blooms. These plants were chosen because this area is pretty shady, so we needed things that would survive in the shade. This is going to be a ground cover, and it's a very early spring bloomer for pollinators, and it has little yellow blooms. Those are not weeds, those are blanket flowers. More pennyroyal on this side and purple-eyed grass. Beautiful purple blooms, making a great border. We planted Coonties, which are a cyad. They are not a palm. These plants have a fossil record of 35 million years in Florida, so we thought they would be a great native plant to put in and long-lived. They'll grow about 3 feet by 4 feet and fill in. This monument is dedicated to former slaves of Madison County, considered our supporters and unsung heroes who gave prayers, blood, sweat, and tears to help our community be what it is today. We're very proud of this Four Freedoms Park and what it stands for. So I hope you enjoyed walking around with me to see what's going on in the Four Freedoms Park, how the plants survived all of our deep freezes. Maybe you saw something that you could add to your garden, either a native plant or shrub or non-native plant or shrub, but Florida friendly. If you love native plants and want more tips on attracting pollinators, don't forget, subscribe. Garden Yay! Happy gardening to all, and I'll see you again soon.